Magula Nazima Atu Mwazi Umutu. Magula Nazima Atu Mwazi Umutu. The Gambia. And this is our program, The Gambia, the flower of the African consciousness. Hello, Gambia. This is LI Web TV, The Gambia. This program is a special program for the Gambian people, the Independence Day celebration, for His Excellency President Yahya Jammeh, and it will share with you an important conversation that took place earlier this month in reference to a constructive dialogue for healing and reconciliation in the Gambia. I greet you, Uduma Akayur, Lion of the New Dawn. And for our Muslim brethren, worldwide and specifically in the Gambia, I greet you, Assalamu Alaikum. This program is the Gambia, the flower of the African consciousness. Again, my name is Makakuvu Ali El-bey, coming to you from our studios on Long Island, New York, and Freeport, LI Web TV. And this is a special program, as I said, for you, the Gambian people, His Excellency President Yahya Jammeh, and the Gambians in the diaspora. First, I'd like to formally introduce myself. You see me here with the Ankh and the Wa staff, spiritual instruments of our Kushite Kemetic heritage. And I say that so when you look at me, you know you are not speaking or listening to or looking at a so-called African American from the United States. I am a Nubian Kushite, Unkachog Algonquin Moor. So I'm going to make that clear, because African American is not an ethnic group. African American is a genetic mutation, a GMO, if you will. Sort of like the GMOs that are being manufactured as food, grown as food for people to consume. So I want to make that clear, that this is not a so-called African American. Our conversation is going to delve around a meeting that was had with the Gambian Coalition for Healing and Reconciliation, chaired by myself, attended with the keynote address from the Honorable Ambassador Sheikh Fai, and representatives from the Honorable Ambassador Tangara UN mission. I want to speak to you briefly about why I have our spiritual instruments as a part of this discussion. I want you to understand, can we get a close-up of this here? That I come to you from the consciousness of the Cushite Kemetic Moors from antiquity, of the ancient Moabite people. And this is the Rek Hati Kemetic, the Kemetic mind science. These are the vibratory frequencies and the images of those frequencies that represent the science, the Kemetic mind science that was used in antiquity by our ancestors of the ancient Moabite people. So I want you to understand that. And I want you to know that is who I am and the spiritual consciousness that I come to you from. So as these talks continue and you begin to see more of our dialogue, some of the things I'll say here in the meeting that you will see as a part of this program, the flower, the Gambia, the flower of the African consciousness. You'll begin to understand more clearly why I say certain things. Now, I want to talk to you about our land, the continent of Makakuvu land, in modern times known as Africa. This is what it used to look like before the Europeans invaded our land. This is what it used to look like. After the Europeans had the Berlin Conference, this is what it looked like. The boundaries of the countries that exist on Makakuvu land, Africa today, were not drawn up by Cushite people. They were drawn up by Europeans in Europe at a conference. They were drawn up not for the benefit of our people, but they were drawn up for the benefit of Europeans. So that the Europeans could claim our lands and colonize our land in the name of their Pope, in the name of their religion. And I'm going to speak a little bit about that. There are documents that were drawn up in 1455 and 1452 by Pope Nicholas V. The document is called Romanus Pontifex, or Dum Diversas, the doctrine of discovery. And Dum Diversas was granted as a papal bull, a church law, an edict by Pope Nicholas V. And it says specifically that the Holy See grants, and this is what the Pope is called, the Holy See, grants to King Alfonso the right to invade foreign lands, search out, capture, and vanquish the people, and subdue them and put them in perpetual slavery. That means slavery forever. So when they divided up the continent, they were acting on Dum Diversas. They were acting on church law. And in Dum Diversas, it states specifically that all those people that they come upon should be declared enemies of Christ, and that they should be killed, vanquished, and put into slavery forever. So as you come upon your Independence Day celebration of February 18th, I want you to begin to understand the political, psychological, and spiritual religious construct upon which your land, our land, and other areas on Akabula in Africa were divided up for the benefit of the Europeans to extract wealth and dominate the people forever. I'd like to thank Your Excellency, President Yahya Jammeh, for the opportunity to speak to the Gambian people, for us to air this program, for the opportunity to sit at the center of the discussions for the beginning of a constructive dialogue for healing and reconciliation in the Gambia. And I want to talk about that title, because that title is also part of the name of the coalition, the Gambian Coalition for Healing and Reconciliation. It's healing and reconciliation that's part of a mathematical equation. Healing first, because in order to reconcile, one has to heal. And that's why I shared with you some of the information that I did in the very beginning, to begin to understand the healing nature that has to take place. Healing is in 4 dimensions: spiritual, psychological, emotional, and physical. Healing and reconciliation. Healing plus reconciliation equals peace. The dialogue that has begun is a dialogue so that all of the Gambian people, opposition candidates, opposition parties, press, can sit at the table and discuss the path of the flower of the African consciousness that is the Gambia. And that consciousness says that our differences can be resolved at the conference table, breaking bread and making salat, making prayer. I want to share with you a brief meditation. The beginning starts with a chant, and the chant means call before the Most High, standing in His name. Umbukula Nazima Atu Umwazi Umutu. O Queen Mother of Creation, who breathes the life breath of our men, the breath from which our ancestors worship you. Your children seek the warmth of your bosom now. Send down your glory, the glory of 100,000 million angels to shield, guide, heal, and protect us into Amenta beyond the waters of Nu. O Mother of Dawn, lift us so our harmony sings praises unto you. The face of Undakim, the sun, is your smile. The rain, your tears, to water a dry earth, to life abundance. Your children pray unto you. Udama Akayur, Lion of the New Dawn. The lion is our consciousness. The dawn is the resurrection of our consciousness. Udama Akayur, Lion of the New Dawn. To Mr. Pierre Minta, thank you. To Mr. Yakuba Drama, thank you. To the representative of Congressman Jose Serrano, Ms. Cheryl Simmons Oliver, who attended the talks, thank you. To Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, who was not able to attend, but who was aware of the meeting that took place, I want to say thank you as well. When we go to the videotape of the talks that took place at the masjid in the Bronx with the imams, and we broke bread, you will see the introduction of the speakers at the table. You will see the audience. I thank you. I'm Makakuvu Ali El-bey, and this is the Gambia, the flower of the African consciousness.
Our brother Bari, with me for this masjid. They help me in everything. The name is Brema, my brother, Muhammad Amin Bari. May Allah bless these people all for us. Alhamdulillah. We give the microphone for our Imam, inshallah. Sumunu. Then we talk later, inshallah. Imam Fadl Dua, inshallah.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وأصلي وأسلم على أشرف الأنبياء نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. Brothers and sisters in Islam, this is my prayers. Before I start my prayers, let I give my intention to give my praise and the praise of the entire of the Muslim Ummah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Praise be to Allah. Thanks be to Allah who helped us to come in to gather in this beautiful masjid here in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If it's not the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do anything by ourselves, this is the very powerful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also be giving our prayers to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Peace and blessing walk with him. And after that, brothers, so we are very happy and very glad with the name of the community members, all our amirs, imams, and all the community members in the bronze here. So we are very glad and very happy to meet our leaders here. Our leaders here, the Gambia ambassador in Washington DC, and his delegation, and the Gambia representative in New York City in the United Nations, and his delegation. So we are very glad to meet our leaders here. This is our first time our leaders coming to meet us in this beautiful masjid. Few years ago, so we met our leaders in the Islamic Cultural Center 2 times, but this is our first night masjid here. We met our leaders here. Brothers, we give our thanks and our happy to our leaders here to come to visit us here. So we are very happy and very glad. And also we give our thanks and to all the entire of the Muslim Ummah who come to join us to meet our leaders in this beautiful masjid here. So we are very happy. So we give our prayers to all of you and all our leaders and all the members and the men and the women and those who join with us here. So we give our prayer to all of you. And we say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب اللهم ارحم تضرعنا وتقبل أعمالنا واصلح أهوالنا وانصر هجبنا ومن خوفنا إنك لا كل شيء قدير اللهم اغفر لنا قبل الموت وأرحمنا إن الموت ولا تعذبنا بعد الموت ولا تجعل حسابنا يوم الحساب إلا حسابا يسيرا اللهم فرج هم المهمومين ونفس كرب المكروبين واغني دين عن المدينين واسق مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأجل الشرك والمشركين والكفر والكافرين ودمر أعداء الدين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد وآخر الدعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.
بارك الله فيك يا إمام. May Allah bless you for us, inshallah.
I'd like to say that it is an honor and a pleasure to be amongst you for this very meaningful dialogue. You see, the camera is in the back, and before I continue to move forward, for the purposes of documenting this on the camera, I would like all of the panel, could you pan in on each one individually, starting with the ambassador, to say your name, please, so we can have it as a record. And everyone will start with the ambassador, we'll move to his left, and then when you're finished, just your name, your email, etc. And then we'll move to the right, so that we can have everyone who's here at the panel documented for the purposes of the documentation. 5 minutes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Can you zoom in on the ambassador, please? Please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Sheikh Omar Faye. I am charge d'affaires for the Embassy of the Gambia in Washington, D.C.
Takbir!
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Imam Abdullah Ibn Zahar, Imam of Islamic Spiritual Center in Bronx.
Alhamdulillah, Al-Haji Bulli Haidara. My name is Al-Haji Bulli Haidara, Gambia, Misra Bamara.
Assalamu alaikum, Jama. My name is Al-Haji Kaira. I'm Amir of Masjid Siddiq. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Kisim Wasila from Sabi community in Basra.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Yakub Ibrahim. I'm the Deputy Foreign Representative of the Gambia Mission to the United Nations, deputizing for my ambassador, His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Tanga, who is away on a very official duty in Addis Ababa. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, my name is Shamsuddin Sar. I live in Newark, New Jersey. I'm a Gambian. I've been here for about 16 years now. And I'm happy to be here with you. And I've been hearing about this masjid a lot. And Al-Bani has told us so much about how good you people are. So thank you very much for inviting us over here today.
Assalamu alaikum to all my sons and daughters, all Salahulis are my sons and my daughters. I am Mr. Pierre Minte, Protocol and Welfare Officer at the Washington, D.C. Embassy of the Gambia, working under Sheikh Omar Faye. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Mohamed Nikyai. I'm a student and a political activist. I live in Silver Spring, Maryland. In case you heard about reconciliation and political dialogue, I initiated it in August. Thanks to Uncle Fala, he invited us to come and meet the community here. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bakari Sawane, President of the Gambian Society in New York.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Imam Muhammad Yusuf from Masjid Siddiq, and I'm 1462 Boston.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Muhammad Silla. I'm the Imam Masjid Umar bin Khattab.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Falay Balde. Fulo member Basse Kantarla. Mbalbe Kondrona. Sarawulu wala munna bali multi Basse Jeto. Any fulo member political Kabri 1916. nin sarahu lollo mo wolle ka ndel makon pour ay implement because hani londoɓe bulu koɗote bulu ita keno so woto ɓe Gambia ɗimol be kontona katu Gambia mo famille kiliŋole kontomol be na ate balneti o oda konto mo be kiliŋ na kiliŋ fa kiliŋ so wala tinantel fana ŋañi mitino kumandi pour ndamaŋolu ka juuɓe même ɓe keeri bantala bankol to the other countries what is happening there like Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia keloɓe keeri mon ma ñoo understand no so ndelom mbaɗi kiliŋol so wala tinañi mitino kumandi assalamu aleykum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Alhaji Ibu Cham, President of United Gambian Association. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Mahanyang. I am the chairlady of United. I'm a chairlady of APRC New York City, and I am the vice president of the United Gambian Association. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Dr. Ingrid Mosley from California.
To come please quickly and share some thoughts. Full Sharia Simpson? Yes. Quickly.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Mrs. Simpson Sherry, Princess Amazon of Benin. Founder in African Women's Solidarity for Development, USA. We have, first of all, I'm going to thank my brother, Vale, and my sister, Mbahe, to invite me to this little conference, Gambian conference. People are going to excuse me because my English is not too clear. I'm Francophone woman, you know. So we have one NGO. So for all like 18 women, 18 nations from Africa country. So we together to help our children and to help our sister in Africa. We're here to support our brother and sister. I don't have a lot to say. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Ms. Monica Sanchez to come and give thoughts as well. She's in the back. Ms. Sanchez, Monica Sanchez.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Monica Sanchez. I am a founder of a women's organization, Miss Caracon, and I've been deeply involved with lots of communities that has to do with African people. I have a women's organization, and we've reached out to other women's organizations, and it's a wonderful thing to see the ambassador here. I'd like to welcome you, and I'd like to say thank you so much for bringing your delegation to the people, because when leaders come to the people to find out what the issues are, it's an awesome thing. We cannot accomplish anything without leaders, without your direct involvement, without your visibility. And sometimes, even though you're helping from afar, it's comforting when the people see you right here. They feel like you care more. So I want to say thank you today for coming. I hope that you make many, many more trips. I'd like to say thank you to my brother, Mr. Fella, for inviting me and always getting me involved. I've made many trips to Washington, D.C. I feel like I'm Gambian. I should be a Gambian citizen right now. And I just want to say welcome and thank you. I hope that you will definitely put some attention to the women that are sitting here, the organizations that they have, and the energy that they have put into trying to help all people, not only women, but women, men, and children. Thank you.
Thank you. Mbakenya.
You know I can't talk, I lose my voice. Okay. I'm thanking everybody who came here today to support us, because it's easy for you to call people, but for people to come and answer you is a big thanks from us to everybody who came here today to answer, especially our ladies, because we are so busy working outside and working in the house. If we can take the responsibility to leave everything we're doing back there to come here, what we can do is to say thank you to them and all my brothers. Thanks.
Thank you. Forgive me. I said there were 3 more speakers, and I had my coat pulled. This brother's going to speak, and then I want this brother to share something with him, because he has a very important legacy about our people. And then the table is going to have a brief discussion to close us out, starting with my brother here, who is the initiator of this mindset to bring our people together. But when it's totally appreciated. My brother.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Is welcoming everybody to the community. Everything that everybody is saying here, he's the one that's supposed to be saying. That's how it's supposed to be. If you go back the days. He said he was about to leave. And then they told him, no, wait. He's welcoming Mr. Ambassador. And Drame. He's not going to say much. The only thing he can tell you is tell the leader in Gambia. There are over 1 million people alive who wouldn't even know who he is. But he knows who he is. In 2000, he met with him in Saudi Arabia. That year, I think over 900 people came from the Gambia. When he has time, he left everything he was doing and go to the Gambian tent and said, I just came to see the Gambians and see how, if everything is okay with you guys. He said he has only one thing to say. From 1972 to now, he's been all over the world. From 72 to now, he has only spent 6 months consecutively in Gambia. He said, yeah, Jamil. The amount of time that he has been the president in Gambia. In his opinion, he has achieved more than most of the presidents that have been before him. He said most of the leaders back then, they kind of like show their power around, but not really do anything for the people. So the first thing he did, he took everything and give it to Allah and by starting to build a masjid right in the State House. So he's bound to be guided. He said, if I'm lying, you know, so make your own comparison. And all these prayers are going to only excel him. And this is why Gambia is so blessed. And this is what he has to say, and the only thing he's going to stress on top of that is, let's unite and work together. And then he shouldn't worry about anything, just give everything and leave it to Allah. He said, fight everything up. Yeah, if you really believe in what Allah says, whatever He creates, no man can. He says, you see, even with families get destroyed, the population get destroyed because of and then leave everything. Faith was what lifted them up any kind of trouble. So he's here, and then he's thankful that you're all here. He thank you, and thank you so much for everything. This is what he has to say to the Jama'ah. He said he would like you all to say thank to Muki Kamara for his hospitality. Every time we have this kind of gathering, he is very active in it.
Thank you. Thank you. We are running out of time, but we're working pretty good. We have to be out of here by 10 minutes to 5, so we got about 20 minutes left. This is the beginning of an effort to get there. You heard me say healing and reconciliation. I didn't say reconciliation and healing. I said healing and reconciliation for a reason. There are 4 dimensions of healing: spiritual, psychological, emotional, and physical. The display that we just saw was an emotional effort to heal a problem. I said that it didn't take us overnight to get here. And I said it ain't going to be tomorrow when we get done. I said that. Our women and children are at stake. This ain't about us. Put your chest in your pocket and lift our women and children and our elders up so they can be safe. I said that no one's going to lift us unless we lift ourselves. We are not going to lift ourselves sticking this chest in each other's face. We're going to lift ourselves by grasping a healing vibration. So we have to listen to everyone. We have to heal, and then reconciliation can take place. You can't have reconciliation without healing first. It comes with the truth. And the truth sometimes and oftentimes is painful, but it's medicine. Okay? So, yes, we're going to move on. Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Please, let's make it brief, sir. Thank you.
He said all praises be to Allah, and after that, he's praising all our leaders for taking time to come here. The guests, the leaders, everybody who leave what they're doing to come here and make these things a success. And the imams. And after that, what he's requesting from all Muslims. He said, so this is what Allah said. Everybody has his own day. So when it's my day, and the rest of the community should come and join me and support me, and then not look at me and look at the big picture, and then move the whatever issue is affecting everybody forward. He's asking all Gambians, just like this brother is saying, that basically what he's saying, all Gambians put our hands and shoulders and minds and everything together and put ourselves in the back and look one thing also and put that forward, which is Gambia. Once you start thinking about that personal issues, you're going to have to put that aside. Gambia should be your utmost goal to put it forward. That's the only way Gambia is going to survive. He said, nobody is perfect, and the only person that is perfect is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when somebody is leading the Jama'ah, we should accept his misgivings and shortcomings and support him, and has one thing in our mind. Whatever it is that he is leading, this is what we all should focus on, and then not pay too much attention to those trivial shortcomings that he might have, and because why? It's going to distract everybody from the common goal.
Okay, moving along real quickly, I just have one gentleman, I need him to speak. His name is Amadou Barry. He is an ancestor of one of our people who were captured and brought into slavery. There was a book written about this ancestor called The Prince Among Slaves. He's been waiting patiently. I just want to give him 30 seconds, if you don't mind.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Excellence, Honorable Gambian Ambassador in the United States in the support of the Gambian Civil Society in New York City, Excellence, Honorable Gambian Civil Society leaders, Honorable African Civil Society leaders of the Gambian Civil Society, ladies and gentlemen, it is for us an honorable duty to welcome warmly our ambassador who accepted the invitation of the Gambian community of New York. We are more than certain this coalition for peace and reconciliation will promote peace, cooperation, and welfare between the people of Gambia and the government on behalf of the Guinean community. We thank Mr. Falai Balde who invited us because we believe that Gambia and Guinea communities are one indivisible family. We thank both participants in this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We got about 15 minutes left. I'm going to open up the table, beginning with
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sir, My name is Mohamed Najai. I'm a student activist, a political activist in Maryland. I'll just take 1 minute to just say one thing. Maybe we misunderstood why we're here, first of all. Nobody's calling for a reconciliation meeting. This invitation was sent to the ambassador to come here by the elders community in the Bronx to accept this letter to his presidency and to reaffirm that what happened on December 30th is condemned by the elders here in the Bronx. Brother, I hear you, but what you're talking about, the time is not there yet. It's a process. It's a process, and we are not there yet. And this is a masjid, so let us be respectful because we are in the house of Allah. But I hear you. Now, I have been given this letter that is going to be addressed to the president and it's going to be given to the ambassador. So I have been given this letter from the Gambian Coalition for Peace and Reconciliation here in the Bronx community. They're the ones who wrote this letter and they're sending it to the president. So they told me to read this out. So bear with me. I'll try to make it quick. So it says, His Excellency, Sheikh Professor Al-Haji Dr. A.J. Jammeh, care of the Gambian Embassy, a message of goodwill and appreciation from the Gambians in the Bronx, New York City. Your Excellency, the Gambian Coalition for Peace and Reconciliation residing in the Bronx, New York, USA, hereby wish to join every peace-loving person in the world in condemning the terrorist attack that took place in the Gambia on December 30th, 2014. We are shocked and embarrassed by the fact that the key perpetrators, rare among us, were identified as American residents of Gambian origin whom we share the unfortunate criminality of living together with them in this country. It is, however, worth emphasizing that our political beliefs, no matter how different they may be from the mainstream conviction, will never justify the use of force to change your government or any democratically elected government for that matter. We also strongly nurture the inclination to be supportive of your tireless efforts to establish and reinforce in the Gambia a very peaceful and tranquil atmosphere for its populace. As a result, we, the members of the above coalition, decided to invite heads of your diplomatic representatives in the USA, His Excellencies Sheikh Omar Faye and Mamadou Tangara in Washington, D.C. and New York, respectively, to join us in the Bronx for the main purpose of demonstrating our goodwill. And I'll reread that. For the main purpose of demonstrating our goodwill and appreciation of your great work for the Gambian people. Maybe we should have said this way back. I apologize for that. This meeting, we hope, will further cement the mutual trust and confidence between your government and the progressive Gambian political activists in the Bronx and other parts of the USA that was forged since this author, along with those listed below, initiated the reconciliatory effort that started this process a few months ago. These gentlemen are Mamadou Njai, student activist, Suleiman Single Nyasi, activist in UK, but they say Bronx. Pierre Minte, Gambian Embassy, Washington, D.C., His Excellency Sheikh Omar Faye, Gambian Ambassador, Samsudin Sar, Newark, New Jersey. We hope and pray that you will continue to open up your heart and doors for those who genuinely reach out for reconciliation and cooperation, from where a lot of benefits could be realized in enhancing your desire to build and sustain the welfare of the Gambia and enduring foundation. You have sheltered the Gambian people from the ravages of genocide in the African continent that has rendered the carnage on innocent elders, women and children as the core values of civility and justice succumbs to unbridled terrorism and barbarism. May the Almighty Allah lift all our consciousness and heal the hearts of those affected from the madness of such trepidation. Our commitment is, however, strengthened by your willingness to come this far. Despite our acknowledgement of the distance you still have to travel, we are confident that you will continue to embrace your vision of peace in the millennium for the future of the Republic of the Gambia. May Allah the Almighty protect you and your family with His abundant love and huge blessings, with honor, respect, and humility. On behalf of the Gambian Coalition for Peace and Reconciliation here in the Bronx. Thank you. And the author is Mr. Falai Balde from Bronx, New York, on behalf of the Gambian Coalition for Peace and Reconciliation in the Bronx. Sir, so I would hand this letter to you, Mr. Ambassador, to give to the President from the Gambian Coalition for Peace and Reconciliation by the elders here in the community in the Bronx. With that, I say Assalamu alaikum and thank you, and may Allah unite our hearts as one. May we do what we can for our country. May we put country first before anything else. May that day come where we will all speak the truth and reconcile our differences for one Gambia, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
At-Takbir! At-Takbir!
His Excellency Ambassador Omar Faye, Kengali Sorombe no Ilpili Kotasu di Sokolano. Sokolano Kuni Mania, Beranga Sorom Mahdi Gambia, Iganadaga, Ang Damberan Tonanani, Yoga Fancy Lai, Akiten Nayo Peki and Telemena, Kenga Bengano, Soron Yankin Fare, Keki and Yanaki, Nakomali and Kira Dundanda. Mbal tanto follow Allah na Allah mbal tanto na Allah na kunyi mafna kila mun bundanda ko nga futan His Excellency Ambassador Cheikh Omar Faye kada telbe siri Gambia di wole jam molle kanki wati o wati ila surol wolo mun ti keno le be bulu ye keno sam yeta kumba bola Gambia yatra do e fenso jola Wokito si follow Sanji Lulu, Sanji Wokito Dolby for Sanji Tam, among at a Panola. So I'll see Marco Muntiano with Blata, where Sola Kurbality, Mol and Jambi. Kadunita, what is to the Begulina family Yanta Munkela, or what is to best at a quarter into Banda, Italy, what I want to get in the Kurtala. Ambassador is only seeing Kila for Candela. Isi Marco no be Kunya Sono in a Yami. You know, not more.
Go ahead.
At this point, we have a protocol matter that I need to address and introduce the representative of Congressman Jose Serrano, who just came in, Mrs. Cheryl Simmons, Oliver, as she like a few words to address the ambassador. Representing again Congressman Jose Serrano, here in the Bronx, Mrs. Cheryl Simmons, Oliver.
Welcome. I bring greetings to you today on behalf of Congressman Jose Serrano. I bring greetings to you today as the newest community to inhabit the Morrisania area. We welcome you. We welcome your contributions to our beautiful beautiful borough of the Bronx. We welcome the insight that you will be able to afford us in sharing with us what we can and should be doing to close the gap that exists from one continent to another. You've been here for quite a long time, but your overtures are relatively new. The work that Congressman Serrano has done that would immediately impact the Gambian community has been related to immigration. That has been a focal point. As the oldest serving Puerto Rican congressman in the nation, it has always been the mission of our office for the last 22 years to ensure that everyone who reaches the shores of what is now the 15th Congressional District has a place and an opportunity. And we serve as that advocate for you on the federal level. Now, much has been said about all of the changes that are occurring, but changes are only real once they've been realized and been impacted by it. Other than that, it is simply a myth. So I'm here today to say to you that in interfacing with the congressional office, your dreams will become your reality as they relate to housing on a federal level, to citizenship, because that's a federal question. All right? In Congressman Serrano, you have an advocate, a surefire advocate. Why do I know that? Because for more than 20 years, I directed his office, and that has always been the position that we collectively have taken. So today, as I sit, in accordance to the protocols and standards that are established by the Islamic community, I await to hear directly from you, from each of you, what it is beyond the obvious that you desire. Because there's not very much, as you know, because you're an extremely politically elite community, that can happen without the backing of the people. It is in our interest, our collective interest, that you become citizens. Because it's only together that there's a voice. And so, on behalf of Congressman Serrano and his entire staff, both in the district, which is located at 1231 Lafayette, between Garrison and Barretto Avenue, and his DC staff, I thank you for having us here today. I thank you for allowing me to address you, and as I said, I'll be sitting in the back in accordance to your protocols.
Thank you. Thank you for attending. Lastly, Mr. Makakuvu Ali El-bey. He's the CEO of the Business Consulting Organization, and he has some information that is very important to be shared with everyone that's here on behalf of our company.
Thank you very much. Salam alaikum. My name is Malcolm Evers. I'm the CEO of New York Business Consultants, and we have a strong focus on Africa. Our partner, our most important partner in Africa, Mr. Melville Chibundo, is from the Gambia. We just did a training in Lagos, Nigeria, about corporate governance excellence. And I appreciate Balai Baldi, the kind invitation. My colleagues David from France, Dr. Joel Charles from Haiti, Your Excellencies, for everybody in this room who shares the message of peace. Because I'm not here in my role as a businessman. I also serve on the Board of Trustees of the New York City Peace Museum. I came to New York 12 years ago working for the United Nations. And I feel strongly about the message of peace, because there's no business, there's no progress without peace, without sustainability, without women empowerment and dialogue. It all starts with dialogue. And these are emotional issues. My friend Eugene Gastana, the ambassador of Rwanda, shared the message recently, speaking about reconciliation, the genocide, the horrors that happened in other countries at other times. And we can learn from these examples. And we can learn that it all starts with dialogue and partnership. And I'm here to help, to offer our contacts and partnership. I really humbly appreciate the invitation, and thank you all for being here, for learning, for listening to all of you and what we can do together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank all of you. Thank Allah, the Most High. I'd like sun showers down. Sun showers down. Golden rays of light. Puffy white clouds float endlessly above. Blue skies and butterflies dance to the rhythm of the wind. Birds sing and laughter rolls as children welcome in a fresh new spring. Pop, pop, bang, bang. Laughter turns to screams. Pop, pop, bang, bang. Gunfire shatters dreams. Blue skies turn dark and white clouds turn gray as sorrow and anger pave the way. Pop, pop, bang, bang. Our children dying. Pop, pop, bang, bang. Our mothers are crying. Crying from grief, crying from fear, crying from loss of loved ones so dear. Pop, pop, bang, bang. No more children. Pop, pop, bang, bang. No more children. Son and you. This is what stray bullets do. The sun goes away, smiles leave, and children die as mothers cry. Stray bullets, ladies and gentlemen, let's not kill our people. Let's raise the consciousness of the flower of the African consciousness, the Gambia, so it permeates Akabu and Africa and brings peace among our people. Udama Akayo, Lion of the New Dawn.